all of the poems in here are about forgiveness. And I didn't mean for it to turn out that way, but it happened. The first poem in here is about Matthew Shepard, who was a victim of an LGBT hate crime. The cover, which was made by Charlie Bosco, who is up there, is supposed to depict Matthew Shepard. So, this poem is called 1998. Matthew Shepard, 21 years old. His father describes him as a shimmer of light, approachable, light, gentle, 21 years old, very approachable by another man in a bar who would plan to rob him. Light is often trapped whenever darkness takes her toll. Matthew Shepard, gay, 21 years old, his cinnamon smile and gentle touch toward a man who pretends he likes it. It is not long until there is another man and they take him out to steal his money, his pride, his voice. Aaron McKinney pleads guilty, says he was nearly driven to insanity by the touch of a gentle, approachable hand on his innocent knees. Did not mention he tortured and whipped Matthew Shepard until the blows against his skull put him into a coma. Did not mention he was tied up to a barbed wire fence and left to die. Police do not mention that the following morning a passing biker mistakes him for a scarecrow. Matthew, you started out as light. You were never meant to be someone's last wish, someone's sitting target. Your father calls you approachable, and I know now he is wishing that you hadn't been. They told him that when they found you, your face was covered in blood. The only parts left clean were from your waterfall eyes. We only wish that the 6 days that followed in the hospital you dreamt of better times. Times without cracks in sidewalks, times without hatred, times without 50 names of dead up on the television screen. I'm sorry he couldn't handle your light. If only you could see love the way it is now, when 50 dead and 53 injured are not just numbers and names, they are people, approachable people who still know your light as your father still does. If only you could have seen entire cities rush to hospitals, donate blood, money, and their apologies for this shit show we call human rights. Matthew Shepard, 21 years old. You know, there are some who do not know forgiveness like you and I, but maybe we could show them how. I don't really write love poems, but I did put one in here, and it's called Love. Love is a cheap box cutter. It is a dual blade pressing into my cardboard heart. The mailman left me on your front porch without a second glance at the word fragile printed across its sides. After you took me in under your arm, I could have sworn your fingertips could pry open my whispers like a wordless poem. But love is a cheap box cutter, and you are impatient, and now I am spilling out my contents onto your living room floor, and my fragile parts are shattering. You should have taken this cardboard heart a little more seriously. I did write a poem about the bear that was loose in Danville 2 weeks ago. It is about the bear. It's not a metaphor, I promise. This is called Danville. There's a bear loose downtown. No, really, we don't know if it's a black bear or a brown bear or a clue where he is hiding. I heard he likes honey with his tea, like you. I mean, I'm sure you and this bear have no connection, but maybe he is also just as quiet. Maybe he is just as patient, waiting for the right answer or the perfect moment. It is hard to face the fact that everybody sees you as this huge threat when all you've asked for is the river and her giant, glowing, gray, gaping mouth that is waiting for reasons to keep flowing and growing. Is it the river he is looking for? I want someone to describe the phrase, gotten loose to me. Was he caged up before? Has he finally found his way? Maybe Kentucky is his home, but he has fallen in love with the idea of a bigger place, a bigger picture. Getting loose is the same as breaking free from the guilt of abandoning a Southern draw family who was never supported anyway. It is the same as embracing a house with no ceiling, finally ready to let in all this rain, all this possibility. That will be me one day, writing myself into other galaxies. Maybe I'll put that bear down by the Mississippi. I wonder if he'd like it there. I know sometimes Kentucky can feel like a bubble encased from the rest of the world, but its walls are breakable. Its people know that when the fog settles, it will have been for the best. There's a bear loose downtown. I wonder if he will stop at each coffee shop, each bookstore, each tower without walls. I'm sorry, they want to take away your right to the river. You really are not responsible for this mess. I would tell you to run, but even if they can't find you, reality will. And reality does not like bears loose downtown, whether you apologize or not. Promise me you will try not to change yourself in an effort to stay where no one wants your existence to be loud. Do not change the way you walk or write poetry. Make them learn to speak your language. Just remember that it will take time. I wrote this poem with my good friend Trey Hayden. I've never written a poem with somebody else before. It was kind of painful. We yelled at each other the whole time we wrote it. This is called Pulse. We dedicate it to the victims of the Orlando shooting.
Ring, ring, bzz, bzz, cracked iPhone screen. 3% battery life. Text from Mom.
Where are you?
Mom, I am lying here, gaping mouth, scraping out any words I can, but right now I speak help with a capital M-O-M.
In my mouth, I can still taste the turkey sandwich you made me for lunch with the really good cheese, with the blood still dripping.
Beat, 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 the thump, thump music. Bang, bang, bang!
I can imagine the weight of being alive is heavy, but not as heavy as the stomach of the man who was hitting on me earlier so still.
So ungodly still.
The doctor had told me today at my noon appointment, Daniel, you have bad knees. Bad for running, bad for dancing at a club at 1:58 a.m. on a Sunday, bad for attempting to run when he gets too close.
Bathroom doors are not built like sink drains. The floods of people escaping by going in instead of out, and only toilets can hear them shout, M-O-M.
Mom, yes, I remembered to switch out the laundry. Mom, yes, I separated the blacks from whites, the darks from brights. It is hard to see the difference between day and night when you can already see a light that you are not sure how to approach. It is only 2:07 a.m.
And these hands are turning into wobbly knees, too weak to text you back.
I am unsure if the weight of being alive is greater than the weight of firm feet against rib cage. I am looking into his scratchy television set eyes.
And I know you are on the other side watching
1, 2, 3, 49
names flashing across the screen.
M-O-M. Mom, I get my nail-biting habit from you. I wrote this poem about my sister. It's the shortest poem in here. Sister. You and I were the superheroes of our backyard, and the meanest villains we faced together were untied shoelaces and fumbling hands too short to stretch any higher to grasp bending tree branches. It is true that your flower pot sneakers were never good at climbing or hopping over chipped paint fences, but they've always been quite the expert at creeping past locked screen doors before sunrise. I wrote a poem based on a piece that Trey Hayden, who was just up here, was playing one morning at breakfast. I wrote while he was playing the piano. This is called Quicksand. 1. Speaking in my foreign flower garden tongue or scrubbing underneath my graveyard fingernails really isn't the way I wanted to tell you this. Read between the lines. Do not forget to thank the stars for your existence. Your senseless love has always made sense to me. 2. My sister nearly drowned once. All I can remember from that day are shriveled fingertips and shaky hands. I have nearly drowned once, but it was never quick. Always sinking, but no, never quick. Surely they must call it quicksand for a reason. 3. Like being thrown into the ocean when you do not know how to swim, you've never really understood the art of understanding. Saturn's rings may seem endless, but she will always crave more. My father says she grabs the moon every night, tucking her into her back pocket and making the stars scream into empty air in search of their missing sister. How much time do I have? Okay, I guess I just want to say thank you to my parents for, making me believe I could do this. And I also want to thank my mentor, Miss Johnson, who is up there. And I didn't think she was going to be here today, so that's exciting. The person up next is Madeline Carey. I'm very excited to introduce her. She is one of the best poets here.